Are you looking for a podcast where you just miss your co-host and gush about movies?
Then you must be thinking of another podcast. Oh! Well, hi, Kelsey.
Hey, Robert.
What's up?
How's life? Are you finally back on the ground? Your 2 feet
I'm
in
so
your home?
tired. I'm so tired.
You've been on the go. You're a man on the move.
I have traveled over 10,000 miles in the past 2 weeks.
That's too much.
Like, such mileage.
Such mileage. You're not built for that kind of mileage.
Like, I
Need your
depreciated
human
in
oil
so
changed.
much value.
Roll you off the lot and you just... that value ticks right down.
They were like, this is a year's worth of miles in 2 weeks, sir. Oh, it's been crazy, but I'm done.
Good.
To be home forever now.
Get to stop, take in like a deep breath of that home air, and just let
And
it
then
out in
get
a
right
big
back to work.
scream.
Yeah, I know.
So you never actually like told me about England because we were just so busy missing each other and telling each other about movies.
I've just missed you so much. Oh my god, I know. I don't even know where to begin.
Tell me about the food. What'd you eat over there?
Yeah, so I'm going through my pictures of just the things that I seen and the things that I did. If you remember, listeners, I went to England earlier in October, right? So, first of all, I've never left the country before, right?
Right.
I'm not a big flyer. And when I go to leave to get on the plane, we were delayed an hour and a half.
Oh my god, that sucks.
So
Did you have to like sit in the plane for an hour and a half on the tarmac?
Oh no, we never boarded.
Okay, because that's the worst. I've been in both situations where like you're on the plane just sitting there,
Yeah.
and then also in the airport just sitting there, and both of them are equally terrible.
So I guess I missed it when this happened, but apparently what happened was after like the first couple of delays, a guy walked up to like the gate, right? And goes, he just like slams his ticket down on the counter and goes,
Oh no.
"Do you even know who I am?"
Oh my god.
And then proceeds to rip up his ticket in front of them and go, "I'm never flying American again!"
Okay.
Right? So he
Good
screams at
riddance.
him. And apparently the cops had to be called to, like, escort him away, which was part of
Good.
the delay, right?
Jesus. What an asshat.
I'm guessing that happened when they made us move terminals.
Oh no.
So, we're sitting here, delayed for an hour, right?
Yeah.
And then they go, your plane is now going to leave on the other side of the airport. Please get on the tram, go to the other side, right?
Yeah.
And so, before that happened, they, just kept pushing back the boarding, and finally they were like, we're gonna leave at this time, and this old lady was sitting there, and she was from London, British as shit, right?
Was she
And
wearing
she
like a
kinda-
big hat with a big feather in it?
No, but she looked up and was just like, what did he say? And I was like, oh, he said that we're delayed, and she was like, blimey! I mean, she just screamed, and she was like, are you for real? So I was like, yeah, I guess. And then when they made us move, she was like my partner, right?
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know where to go. And this is like my third flight. I've been up for 24 hours.
Oh, poor
And I was
lady.
like, well, you just stick with me. So we get on the thing, we get on the tram, go all the way to the other side of the airport, and we get off, get to that gate, and then this thing goes, that flight is now leaving from this gate, and it's the one we just left.
What?
Yeah, we literally got on the train, walked to the other one, and then they sent us directly back to where we were the whole time.
Oh my god.
And this guy
I'm
just
so
screams
mad.
up to the heavens. He goes, I hate you! It was pretty funny.
I feel bad for people that have meltdowns in airports because I've definitely been like on the edge of being that person, but
Yeah.
I have not had a full-on scream at the heavens moment in an airport yet.
I mean, he just looked up to the sky. I hate you! Ah!
I hate you! You stupid airplanes!
And then we got on the tram, walked back, and I mean, literally, we got off the train, and as we walked to the gate, just everyone boarded the plane. Like, we never stopped again.
What?
Yeah, so, like, the stairs coming from the tram led straight to our gate, and they were just like, come on, let's go. So we just walked off the train, down the stairs, straight into the plane.
All right. See, what they didn't tell you is that one of the flight attendants had to fart really bad, and they just needed to, like, clear the terminal so that she could do it in private.
She was like, guys, they gotta move. This is gonna be a bad one.
It's gonna be awful. I gotta let it out. I've been on this plane for a 7-hour shift. Can't fart in the plane or it'll explode.
That one was a 9-hour flight.
That's a lot of hours.
So I watched Creed 2, which was bomb. Loved it.
Oh, I was thinking, like, the band Creed. I was like, what the fuck is Creed 2?
No, Creed, like, the new Rocky ones. Right?
Can you take me even higher? 'Cause we're Creed 2.
Can you take me double higher?
Extra higher.
So, did that. I, like, forced myself to sleep because I knew, like, the time difference and shit, right?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, how the fuck did your, like, sleep situation fare over there? Because I know you sleep weird anyway.
I did pretty good. Like, I forced myself to sleep on the plane. I slept for, like, 4 hours, maybe.
But you would text me at, like, weird hours, which were normal hours for me, but I would check the clock and be like, it's not a normal hour in Britain right now, because it's, like, 9 p.m. for me.
Well, yeah, so that'd be, like, 3 a.m. for me.
Yeah, which is, you know, Robert hours.
I still went to bed around 3 a.m. every night.
God.
One night was just, I just could not go to sleep. And, like, I'd lay in the bed, and I would just, like, throw off the covers and just go, wah! And then just, like, get up and, like, pace around. I was like, alright, I'm just gonna flop on the bed, and hopefully I'll land in a comfy position. I just fell on it. And then I got up again. That night sucked.
Oh.
I finally get there. Everything's great. I get... Oh! So when I got there, I had already booked a taxi that was going to pick me up and take me all the way to where I was supposed to go, right?
Yeah.
But I was an hour and a half late on the plane.
Oh, no. Don't tell me the taxi idled for that 90 minutes.
He waited for me.
What?
And was the nicest dude ever.
That's really sweet.
Well, that's their business. He was like, this is what we do. Like, if you're late, you're late. But, I mean, you're my fare. I gotta get you.
I guess.
You know?
I mean, he could have done something else for those 90 minutes, probably, but...
I guess.
At least he was nice about it, and he wasn't like, you made me lose money.
His name was Yusuf. And he's my best friend. He's my best friend ever. I loved him. He was so awesome.
Good.
So, you know, I just got up a 9-hour flight, and it was an hour and a half to where I was supposed to go.
Oh, fuck, that's so long.
I talked to that dude the whole hour and a half. He was a neat-ass dude.
Good. What'd you guys talk about?
So we talked about movies for a while, because I was like, yeah, I watched Creed on the plane, and he was like, dude, that part where he breaks his ribs, oh my god! So he was all about that, and then he was telling me, like, because he's not from England, and he was like, yeah, I moved here, this is where I'm from, it's so different from where I'm from. He was just telling me about his life, and the places he's gone, like, everywhere. He's like, I pretty much just, like, make my money to travel.
He's a rambling man.
He's like, I don't really have a lot of money. I just, like, spend it all traveling.
That's a cool way to live.
He's even been... So, I mean, I've been to the Grand Canyon, right?
Yeah.
He did a 5-day hike through it when he went there.
Oh, God, I want to do that so bad. I wanted to do that for my birthday this year.
Yeah.
But, like, it's not a December hike that you should do.
No.
So, maybe next year. But not for my birthday.
Yeah, so he's done that, and he's like, yeah, I'm saving up now, we're gonna go to... He just named off some wild places, and I was like, you're awesome, dude. You're so cool.
You've
done so much shit.
Come stay with you next time he's in the U.S.
I know. And then he goes, yeah, pretty much I like to travel to all these places and then go skydiving. He's like,
oh my God.
I have skydived every place that I've been to.
What?
So, like, he travels to, like, Turkey and skydives somewhere. Travels to Russia, skydives somewhere. Travels to America, skydives somewhere.
He's begging for death.
he just skydives all the time. And he's like, have you ever done it? And I was like, oh, I've talked about it. And he's like, you gotta do it. It's the best.
No.
So I was like, do you always have, like, a buddy with you? And he's like, nah, I just jump.
Oh, is he, like, supervised? Like, he has a parachute and shit, right? He's not just, like, leaping out of planes.
But I guess, like, the first few times he did it, he had it where, like, there's someone strapped to your back, you know?
Yeah.
But he just, like, tells them, I got it, and they let him jump. And his family doesn't do it with him. He just does it on his own while he's there.
That's nuts. Man.
He was so awesome.
That freaks me out. I don't know. I don't want to be like Peggy Hill, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just fly out, pancake.
So, travel all that way, get to the room. Their toilets are square. It's like the first thing I noticed.
The first thing you sent me, I was like, did you land okay? And you sent me back a picture of a toilet.
Square toilet. Look at this. I don't have a square ass.
Who are they making those for, Gumby?
I don't know, but I found it so weird.
Minecraft toilet.
Then they had this, like, towel heating rack thing. It's kind of ingenious and cool.
Who doesn't want a hot towel?
When I finally used it, the towels were 0% hot. It was just the part that was touching the rod. It didn't, like, heat it through the towel.
Just one, like, seared strip, and then the rest of it just a cold towel.
Yeah, so, like, it's like when you put it on you, you would just feel this strip going down your middle, and then everything else was cold, and you're like, oh God. That was cool. Honestly, I would go back to England in a heartbeat.
I want to go.
It was fantastic.
It's on my bucket list.
I think you'll love it.
Did you see landmarks?
So
Buckingham Palace with the guards and all that?
The Saturday that I was there, I went to London and just, like, walked around everything.
Yeah.
Right? So, hang on, let me pull up the pictures to see what I even went and saw. So I saw Westminster.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a building.
Cool.
Big Ben.
Oh!
I couldn't see because they're doing the construction
right?
on it. So I have a picture of just this scaffolding. Because my coworker goes, oh, hey, that's Big Ben. And I was like, where? She's like, that ugly thing.
That tall mess.
And I was like, oh, okay. She's like, yeah, they're doing the work on it, remember? I was like, oh, yeah.
When's it going to be finished?
Right. Like, next year sometime.
Okay, good. So I'm going to go when it's finished.
Yeah, you should definitely hold off, because it'd be way cooler if you could actually see it.
Yeah, I want to see that big, beautiful clock.
Saw the London Eye.
Ooh.
Which is a Ferris wheel. So, my coworker Jazz was like, do you want to go up to it? And I was like, we have Ferris wheels. I'm good. She was like, fair enough.
How big is that Ferris wheel?
It's pretty big.
Is it bigger than the Texas Star?
I'd say it's about the same.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I saw it from a ways away, and it was pretty big looking, you know? So it's like, that looks about the same.
London Eye height. Okay, it is 443 feet tall, which is quite big.
Okay.
What's the Texas Star? It's only 216 feet?
So this thing is double the size then.
Holy shit, I thought the Texas Star was the biggest one, because it's in Texas.
Well, then, Jazz, I apologize. I should have went and seen it, because it's twice as big as mine.
You should have seen it. Oh, that's huge. I can't even imagine.
Wow.
Like, I get in the Texas Star and I get uncomfortable.
Yeah, so then this would have killed you.
Ugh. What about a stiff wind?
See, I saw Buckingham Palace.
Sweet. Did you see the guards out front?
It's a building. It's about the same. There were 2 guards out front. And they were so far away, like you couldn't even really see them.
You didn't, like, go up to them and poke them and all that?
No, they were, like, behind the gates, like, far away.
They don't, like, have some outside the gates?
No.
Huh. All the movies and TV would lead you to believe that you could just walk up to the guards and, like, fuck with them.
Well, so...
Not that I would ever fuck with the guards.
While I was there, I mean, that's kind of what you're supposed to do.
It's what you're supposed to do, but I don't think I could personally do it.
Hey guard. Hey guard, can I rub your hat?
Hey guard.
Hey.
Does your head go right up inside that hat? All the way up to the top?
You got a tall head? Is that the requirement to be a guard?
You must be at least 7 feet tall. 2 feet of that ahead.
Yeah. Well, so while we were there, this Bobby came out, right?
Your Aunt Bobby?
Huh?
Oh.
That's our cops, man.
I was confused.
The Bobbies. So this guy comes out and he's like, all of you at the gate, if you're waiting for changing of the guards, we're not doing it today. So get out of here.
And the crowd just goes, oh.
And then nobody left. So that was neat. Got to see that. And so Jazz goes, yeah, there's no one here. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, well, the Queen's on vacation right now.
Where does the Queen go on vacation?
She's got like a Scottish summer home.
Does she do a 5-mile hike into the Grand Canyon? Go skydiving with you?
Probably. And then she's like, Harry's not here. Like, this one's not here. That one's not here. So it's like, is this just like the news? Like, does that air on TV? Like, Queen's back in town. And she was like, yeah. Like, we know this stuff. We just don't care.
I mean, I guess it's about the same as the president, because every time the president goes on vacation, you hear about it.
Yeah.
Like,
they did say that.
The one time Obama went to Hawaii and everybody lost their fucking shit. Hawaii? What is he doing in Hawaii? The nation is totally fine. We have stuff to worry about, probably. Maybe.
So, I'll send you a picture of the guard that I saw. That is zoomed in so close.
Just right up on his nose.
No, like, just to even be able to see him.
Oh,
and that's still far away.
Is he standing like a flamingo? What's going on here?
He was marching.
Oh, in place, or?
So, one was marching in place, and one was marching back and forth.
Just to get the blood movement?
I don't know.
I wonder how long their shifts are.
Apparently, like 12 hours.
Oh, those hats are so fluffy. They look warm.
So, went and did that.
Is he holding an AK? I've never actually, looked at the guards before, you know?
Okay, so he's holding, like an M16. They have legit guns on them.
So they're, ready to fucking go for the Queen.
Oh, yeah, dude.
They're gonna mow some people down.
Nobody else has guns there. But I guess these two guys.
Men protecting the nation. So admirable.
So then we just kind of walked around to, this big shopping center they have. It's, outside. I looked at a whole bunch of stuff. Went to M&M World.
What is M&M World? Like, the candy?
Yes. So, I'm trying to think of what I can equate it to for you.
Don't they have... Like, in New York, they have a big M&M store that's you can get your face on an M&M.
Yes. It's that.
I have never understood the appeal of that.
Well, so I even told her, because I was like, do you guys really like M&Ms here? And she was like, well, once, the characters got introduced, yes. And I was like, what do you mean when they got introduced? There's always been the characters. And she was like, not for us.
Always existed. When did they go to England?
Like a few years ago.
What? They've never had the fucking weird, M&M anthropomorphic people?
Not until, the past few years, no.
They don't have that commercial from, 1993 where the M&Ms are, sneaking in?
I don't think so. Shh, he's probably home. He does exist! They do exist.
Santa?
Yeah, we haven't seen that commercial 10 billion times in our lives.
God, every year, every single fucking day during the holiday season since I was born.
It's that, and then the Hershey's Kiss one where they're the bells.
'Tis the season.
So I went to this M&M World, and it's, a 4-story building, just full of M&M merchandise you wouldn't believe.
It's so ridiculous.
It's crazy.
So are they into the M&Ms because of the characters? M&Ms were not a thing over there until they saw, that red guy voiced by Fry from Futurama, and they were like, ooh, I want that in my mouth.
I think that's what made them popular there, yes.
That is so bizarre.
So, that was the thing. But so then you did ask about the food. Gotta tell you about the food.
Tell me about the food.
The first day. All right. So when I got there, it was late. I was just in my. So I did take a nap in the hotel when I first got there.
Good.
Just like passed out on the bed. So, ugh. So I wander downstairs and there's like a restaurant in the hotel, right?
Nice.
So I was like, well, I'll just go eat something real quick. And they had an American menu, and I was like, I'm just going to be safe the first night. Because the rest was like Indian food.
Oh.
And I was like, well, I'm going to do this lasagna. And they go, okay. So it comes out with this lasagna. There were no noodles in this lasagna.
Okay. How?
I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was.
Was it stacked up like a lasagna?
Yeah. But the thing that was a noodle was not a noodle.
What? Was it like was flat vegetable?
I don't know, but it was like gooey in a way.
So
it was really weird.
They've not perfected lasagna. Lasagna is not even American. Like, that's an Italian thing, right?
Yes.
That originated in Italy, I would assume.
But it was served, so half the plate was lasagna, the other half, French fries.
Oh my god, I was gonna guess French fries, but I was like, surely they won't.
No, French fries.
Yeah, that's the American menu, all right.
So there's that dish.
Were
Send
the French
that
fries
to you.
good?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
Oh my god.
None of them are salted.
That totally doesn't
right.
look like it has noodles in it. I thought you were lying,
No,
but no, I don't see noodles.
No, I for the life of me could not tell what I was eating.
I like the attempt at a salad on the side.
It was good.
It's like loose iceberg lettuce.
So then there were like sauces on the table, right?
Uh-huh.
And each sauce had the name of the sauce on the back and then a picture on the front of, I guess, what it's supposed to go on.
A serving suggestion.
So this one shows apples and onions. And then the back, it's called brown sauce.
What? That's not creative at all.
And I believe that is the gravy that they use on a lot of stuff.
Okay, apples and gravy?
I don't know. But yes, brown sauce.
Okay, brown sauce.
So, then I took a picture of this one. So there's the front, and it shows the French fries. Tons of French fries are on the picture of this packet.
Okay.
It's a packet. Like you get a packet of ketchup, right? And you gotta rip the little corner and you squeeze it out.
Yeah.
You get a little packet of mustard, tear off the corner, squeeze it out. So that's what these packets are.
Right.
They're French fries on the front. What is in said packet?
Is it mayonnaise?
No, it's not mayonnaise. And everybody guesses mayonnaise.
Because mayonnaise on fries is like a thing over there. I know in Germany that was a big thing. And I was like, fuck yeah, because I do that secretly in my own home.
Hate mayonnaise. It's so gross.
Oh, I fucking love mayo and fries.
So, I just sent you the picture. That is the packet. It is
is it vinegar?
Pinkish purple, right?
Yeah.
It is vinegar.
Skin colored. Okay, yeah, vinegar.
That
They're
means
all
there's
about their
just
vinegar.
liquid vinegar in this packet.
Yeah, man. That weirds you out?
It does weird me out.
Did you put any on your fries?
Freaks, not on this meal, no.
I fucking love salt and vinegar chips. Like Lay's chips, you know? Just like,
Then I have to send you this, because I went to dinner with Jazz several nights while I was there, right?
Yeah.
But the first night, I was told by Stu, right?
Big beef stew.
Big Beef Stew. He said, when you go, gotta have a Guinness for me.
Okay.
He was like, because the Guinness there is different than the one here. Look at this Guinness.
So creamy.
It was perfectly put in that glass, right?
It is a tall head.
And it was delicious. And I don't like Guinness.
Man, I love Guinness. I've only had it in a bar once, and they poured it in the glass so bad. There was no head on it. It was like almost flat. It was very sad. That was like a good foamy beer.
I'm gonna put this one out there for you guys to see. It was... They know what they're doing. Right?
They know how to pour a beer.
So, had that with my dinner the first night, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had toad in the hole.
What is a toad in the hole?
Okay, so toad in the hole.
Those words together excite me so much. Just picturing a little frog and a little hole.
Okay. If you don't understand what I'm saying, it is toad, as in, frog and toad, the team duo, right?
Right.
Toad in the hole. There's a hole in your jeans, SpongeBob, or whatever, right?
What?
It's called Toad in the Hole, and it is bangers and mash, which bangers and mash is sausage on top of a bed of mashed potatoes.
That looks so good.
So this is sausage on mashed potatoes inside a Yorkshire pudding crust.
Like a big old piece of bread. It's like a bread bowl,
but with sausage and mashed potatoes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's Carb City. I'll go to town on that shit.
It was good, dude. It was good.
That plate of vegetables next to it looks real sad.
They were super good.
Really? It looks flavorless.
Yeah. Oh, no. They were fine for me.
Okay, good.
So, Toad in a Hole, great. All the food I had there, fantastic.
Good.
And the food out there is so fucking cheap.
Really?
We went out one night for, a steak, right?
Uh-huh.
And our steaks run 4, 6, or 8 ounces maybe, right?
Yeah.
They were 6 and 12. And their 12 was the cost of our 6.
Dang.
So I got this big ass steak. It was delicious and cheap.
Hell yeah.
So then another day for lunch, we went to some little place, right? Yeah. And I got a lamb pot pie.
They love their lamb over there, don't they?
Yeah. And I was like, I want some lamb, because I don't get lamb at home. And they were like, what? And I was like, yeah, we don't have lamb. And they were like, we fucking love lamb, it's the best! And I had 2 lamb dishes while I was there, and they were pretty good.
I've had rack of lamb in the U.S., which is extremely good, but also extremely expensive. Exactly.
And they're not expensive at all.
They're just they have lambs all over the fucking countryside there.
It's
Is that
true.
a little Wellington? Lamb Wellington?
So, it's actually just a little glass bowl. And then it's got the lamb and filling inside, and that's just a crust placed over the bowl.
Oh, okay. So it's a little pot pie.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were so Jazz was a pot pie? I was like, well, that's what we call them. She's like, we just call it pie. It's a lamb pie. Quit saying pot. There's no pots here.
But it's in a pot.
That's the lamb pie.
What's the little sauce? Is that brown sauce?
That was brown sauce.
How did brown sauce taste? Is it gravy?
It's just gravy.
Did they put it on their fries?
No. I did not see that happen anywhere.
See, I can't go eat food abroad because I'm a monster, so I'll just eat it the way I want it. I would pour I would pour the gravy all over the fries, and people would look at me funny, I'm sure. Be like,
well,
what are you doing?
There were people with a dog right next to us in there, so they probably wouldn't have cared. I finally found a Dr. Pepper about 3 days in.
All right.
And I was talking to Jazz's husband because we went out for drinks one night, right?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, yeah, I found a Dr. Pepper. It's good to have something from home. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, it's made, in Texas. That's, our drink. And he was like, shut up. That's awesome. And I was like, you gotta come to Texas and have a real one. It did taste the exact same.
Really?
Yeah, it did. I was like, oh, thank God. Oh, so good.
That's funny, though, to be from the homeland of Dr. Pepper, and he was like, oh my God, what? We just kind of take it for granted.
Yeah. Then, don't ask me why, but I found this very cool. I took a shower, and the mirror didn't fog in the middle. It fogged only around the edges, and I was like, why don't we have this?
I mean, we do for the most part. Fogless mirrors are a thing.
But, you never see them.
It's true. You don't see them in hotels, and you should.
I want them at home. I want that
convenient.
shit. It was great. I loved it. It never rained while I was there.
That's so disappointing.
I know, because I bought a big-ass umbrella.
You were, like, ready for it.
Ready. And never felt water. Not once.
Sad.
So then Jazz took me for steak to see how it compared to Texas steak, right?
Yeah.
That steak was fucking good. It was really good.
Ooh, it looks really good. What's the thing on the left? What is that?
That is essentially an onion ring.
What?
It was like a whole half an onion just kind of fried together, and then you would just kind of like peel off the like layers.
Like a bloomin' onion, but not separated.
But not bloomed, yes.
Fascinating.
Then
I'm just,
there's
like,
a little
totally enthralled by other cultures' food.
Yeah. So then I got a béarnaise sauce.
I love béarnaise sauce.
With this. And Jazz was like, pour it on your steak. I go, no. And she goes, why not? I was like, because the steak is good. I don't want to cover up the spices and stuff with the steak. She's like, you're going to eat it dry, you nasty monster? And I was like,
what you do in Texas.
I was like, I'm not going to drench it. Gross.
You want to taste the meat.
So I would dip it in the sauce, and the sauce was good.
Yeah.
Right? But I ate that steak dry. And it was seasoned so good.
It's got some fine grill marks on it.
Oh my god, it was beautiful. It was a great steak. I loved it.
Listeners, are you hungry? I'm hungry right now.
That I will definitely say right up there with our steaks.
And 4 leaves of romaine.
Fantastic. So, yeah.
I have to post these photos because people are going to be like, what the fuck is she talking about?
I know.
I'm looking at 4 leaves of romaine next to the steak.
And then the little pot up there is like sauteed mushrooms.
Oh my god, give me a fork.
But
I fucking love mushrooms.
But when we have them, they're usually still in that sauce, right?
Yeah. Did they not leave them in the sauce?
Zero sauce in there. They were dry.
Why?
I don't know.
Why would you deprive me of the sauce?
But I love the sauce. The sauce is the best part.
I fucking drank mushroom sauce.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh god, I bathed in that shit.
Oh, and then I decided to get fancy with it, and I got dessert from this fancy place. Guess what I had?
Something delightfully English. Let me think about Great British Bake Off.
It's not even really British to me.
Oh, really?
Not really.
Was it a tart of some sort? They do a lot of tarts.
No.
Was it
It's more of a custard of sorts.
A custard, a pudding?
Uh-huh, kinda, yeah.
What was it?
I had a creme brulee.
Fuck yeah. Oh, God, creme brulee.
I've never really had a creme brulee.
God, I did not have dinner before this podcast. I really should have eaten.
Like, there's one thing Jazz made sure that I did, and that was take a picture of every meal.
That's good.
Everything I put in my face, she was like, take a picture.
Gotta have a picture. Gotta put it on the gram, otherwise how people know you're eating abroad.
And then these 2 little cookies, they were good too.
Little baby sugar cookies next to your creme brulee.
Alright, this creme brulee, how deep do you think it was?
It looks pretty shallow, judging from this angle.
A 32nd of an inch, is that a thing?
Just very thin, I mean, just the brulee, no creme.
It was so thin. It was good, but, like, it was pretty much the top, and then the same width as that crusty top in, like, the creme, like, below that.
Yeah, that's too thin. I like to have a creme brulee that's, like, a deep little pot of custard, you know?
But 'twas good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Then we went to a food truck one morning.
Hell yeah.
And so Jazz has been going to that food truck for a while, and she was like, oh yeah, this is my colleague, he's from Texas. And she's like, what do you want? And I go, I want that bacon and egg one. And she goes, psh, my bacon? I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's better than any bacon that you've had from Texas. And I was like, well, lay it on me. So she gives me the sandwich. I get it all the way back, and it's not bacon.
What?
It's not bacon in any way, shape, or form.
Is it like Canadian bacon?
Yeah. This was just straight up ham.
Oh my god, Jazz.
Well, Jazz didn't
disappointed.
say that. The food truck ladies said that.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, you need to go back and tell her this was not bacon.
It's just two, like, huge slices of white bread. And then, like, really, really sad ham in between.
But I'll say, as far as ham goes, it was pretty legit.
Man, I don't even like ham.
It was... You don't like ham?
It's alright. Like,
Ham's
I'll
not
have
my
it
favorite.
at
But,
Christmas time every once in a while and be like, alright, that's ham.
oh, dude, that ham was, like, grilled and smoked to perfection. It was so good. Out of a food truck. It was fantastic.
But it wasn't bacon. We can clarify that.
Yeah, it was not bacon. And so, as one does, I believe we know the saying, when in Rome, you know?
Run your car into a hotel.
When in Rome... When in Rome, do as the Romans do, crash your vehicles, right?
Scream in the street.
And that's because, for lunch, you get drunk.
Oh my god, that's a huge beer. That was a lunch beer?
Yeah.
Bro.
So, you drink at lunch.
Alright.
I mean, we were behind this, like... There were these two ladies. They were, like, maybe... Like, one was a little older. Maybe she was 60, didn't go to work. And one was, like, 50 and did go to work still, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, give me a pint of Guinness. It's, like, 11 a.m.
Oh my god.
And I was like, is this what we do here? And she's like, why not? I was like, because that's not what we do.
Yeah, the only people that get drunk at
I was
lunch in
like-
America are, like, shitty white businessmen.
I was like, we have to do that after work.
That's happy hour.
She was like, yeah, well, it's always happy hour here, I guess. So, that was a work one, yeah. That was actually the day, that was like my last work day there, and that was kind of like a mid-afternoon one, kind of.
Okay.
But so, I only had a beer with lunch like twice, but I went out with Jazz and her husband one night, and he drinks a Guinness Black.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So Guinness Black, let me make sure I say it right. What it is. So Guinness Black is like a normal Guinness,
Guinness is already pretty damn black.
but you pour... So it's like a normal Guinness, but then they pour like this like other thing in the top. This like black licorice stuff, right?
Ew. Like a
And
little
it makes
floater?
it sweet, kind of.
Okay.
Well, it like mixes with the whole thing. And when he got me one of those, I was like, this is my favorite drink of all time.
Really?
I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. And he's like, I know.
Is this something you could order at a bar in America, or would they look at you like, what the fuck?
I don't think they would know what it is. Because I'm looking it up now, and there's a Guinness Black, like, there's like a label called Guinness Black, but that's not the same thing.
It's just making me think of Coke Black, which is like Coke, but with coffee mixed into it, that they sold for like 2 years in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
That shit was my fucking jam.
I'm gonna have to ask them what goes in the top. Basically, yeah, you just like pour the stuff in the top that makes it sweet, and it kind of just makes it, I guess, more palatable. Like if you don't like a darker beer, you know.
Yeah, Guinness is a really
But-
strong dark beer.
It added such flavor to it with that little bit of sweetness.
Just that
It was just
depth
so
of
good, dude.
flavor.
Oh my god, I was so about it. It was the best thing ever. And nothing that I pull up on Google is even remotely close to what it was.
Maybe it was a fever dream. Maybe you never actually went
I don't
to
know.
England at all.
I'm gonna have to ask him. Because it was so good. Yeah, I can find nothing about it. But I will tell you guys once I know for sure.
Post
yeah,
the recipe.
They would pour this thing in the top, and they're all about their beers, right? So I ordered it after our London trip, right?
Uh-huh.
And the guy poured it, but then forgot to put in the black, right?
Yeah.
So Jazz goes, you didn't do the black. And he goes, oh, oh no, I forgot. And he goes, this is precious stuff, man. So So if you want to drink some of it to lower it down some, that's fine. Or I can pour it out, but I don't want to do that. So he gives me the cup, has me drink some, and then he added the stuff.
That's funny.
But so, that was great.
I'm just in awe of, like, how perfectly tall and fluffy that beer head is.
Dude. No. And then my last meal there. You ready?
Ready.
So, Jazz and her husband were going to take me to an Indian place to have, like, true Indian food, right?
They love Indian food over there.
Well, Jazz and her husband are Indian.
Oh, cool.
As well. So, they're like, yeah, I mean, we know how to do it, right?
Hell yeah.
Well, I think it had turned out that her husband knew the people that owned the restaurant that was in the hotel that I was in.
Okay.
Because, dude, everybody knows everybody there.
It's like a little small town.
Well, England is just so condensed and packed. Everything's
so
right there. You were always passing the people that you know.
That's
right?
funny. It strikes me as like a pretty big place.
Oh no, like we were out driving for something and she's like, I know that person. Oh, well, hang on. I didn't tell you about my Friday night meal.
Tell me about it.
They took me for fish and chips.
Fish and chips!
But they go, from a restaurant? No. That's stupid. Can't do that. They're like, what you need to do is go to the local chippy.
What is the local chippy? Is it like a little man who stands on the street corner and you have to tell him the secret code word and then he opens his coat and it's full of fish and chips?
It's like a little corner, like, imagine it kind of like a diner. Like in a diner, everybody knows everybody kind of feel, you know?
Uh-huh.
And it's just like down home. Like it's just like your local place, right?
Yeah.
Well, they have like chippies for like every neighborhood or something, right?
Okay.
And so this is theirs that they just walked to, right?
That's so cute.
So we walked in there, and there's a big old line. They know what's up. They got it going on. And I get the fish and chips, and Jazz said, I knew that it would be too big for you, but I let you make the mistake. Because I ate half of what they gave me.
That's how much did they give you?
Stuffed. I actually don't have a picture of that.
No, the fish and chips.
But the fish hung over one of her big plates by like an inch on both sides.
Oh my god! So it's just like one big piece of fish?
Yeah.
I was thinking like little fish sticks, you know?
Oh no, it's like a
fillets.
giant fish fillet, and then like the fries, right?
Yeah.
So she goes, we don't do the vinegar and salt because we think vinegar is just disgusting.
What?
But we want you to...
packets everywhere. The world is littered with them.
And she hates it. She hates it. She goes, but I want you to enjoy it the way it's supposed to be. So if you do salt and vinegar, it's fine. You're allowed in my house.
Okay.
So I go, okay. So I do the vinegar and the salt, right?
Yeah.
Dude, bro. They have to have the world's highest salt bill ever.
Was it
because
like salty?
That man took the little shaker, right?
Uh-huh.
And instead of going like, right?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't have to shake it for it to pour out. It's just like open, and he just goes, whoop! He pours it on there, man.
It's just like holding it upside down for a solid 5 seconds over this giant thing of fish.
Then he gets the vinegar out for, like, the chips. And he's spraying it, and it's hitting that, and, like, the paper that it was on, it's flying all over me and stuff.
Vinegar shower.
Fire hose, just all over it, right? That vinegar made those chips, man.
Hell yeah.
Oh, so good. I was like, this is delicious.
I wanted
the fish was good too. But the vinegar on them chips, like, I was all about the chips, man. Which, by the way, I got an official definition from Jazz on how you equate chips and fries and stuff for us and them. Okay? So their chips are our, what I would call, steak fries.
Right.
So chips are huge.
Big chonky fries.
Big fries. Then they have fries, which I believe we would call shoestring fries, probably.
Like the little skinny guys?
Like real skinny ones. I mean, probably even so much as to say like a McDonald's fry.
That's not even shoestring though. That's like decent.
I know. They just something smaller than like a big old fry.
Okay, so they have like the honkin' fries and then like the.
So I'd say a fry for them ranges between, let's say, McDonald's fry and like, what's that place with the shoestring fries?
Steak and Shake?
Steak and Shake, yeah. So anywhere between that range, that's a fry.
Okay.
And then a crisp is what we call potato chips.
Okay.
So chips is steak fries and crisps are chips.
What do they call cookies over there? Because I know they have biscuits, right?
Those are cookies.
And what do they call our biscuits then? Do they have biscuits?
No, they don't eat that. I feel like Jazz is going to hear this and be like, we eat biscuits. Like your fluffy biscuits?
Yeah, like a fluffy buttermilk biscuit. I want to know what they would call that.
I don't know. But they definitely call what we say cookies, that's a biscuit.
Okay.
And then we went to Starbucks one day and I was like, I really hope they have a scone. And she was like, a what? I was like, a scone. She's like, a scone? I was like, ew! No, a scone! She's like, yeah, we got scones. I was like, ugh.
That's so cute.
Which was then funny because, so we were walking around and I noticed this nonstop off the bat. And you can go ahead and say that we don't do this here, but I was raised this way, okay? I go, hey, Jazz, are Adidas a big thing here? And she goes, a what? And I was like, Adidas. And she was like,
the shoes?
I don't know what that means. And I was like, I can't say it different. Yeah, like the shoe. I was like, Adidas. She was hearing me say like A space Adidas. She was like, I don't know what Adidas is.
What is Adidas?
And now I can't say the word without hearing that because I was like, that makes sense if that's what you heard. She goes, oh, we say Adidas.
Yeah, I've heard it that way.
Okay.
Because
so she was like, oh, Adidas. And I was like, ew, no.
So the inventor of Adidas, his name was Adi Dassler. And that's why they're called Adidas. Or Adidas.
Gotcha.
But like, yeah, it's Adidas in America.
So yeah, we had the longest fight over like, understand my word.
That's so funny. I love misunderstandings like that.
Yeah, as soon as she said it her way, I was like, oh, I totally know why you heard what you heard me saying. Like, A space Adidas. I don't know what Adidas is either.
Yeah, what is Adidas?
But I know what Adidas are, right? So I changed my wording and said, okay, do you guys have a lot of Adidas here? And she was like, I mean, I guess. And I was like, well, I'm just noticing that person's wearing Adidas. That person's wearing Adidas. They're wearing Adidas track pants. They have a handbag, right?
Okay.
Like, all this stuff. And I was like, even Freddie Mercury was big for wearing Adidas shoes, right?
Right.
I was like, is that just an English thing? And she was like, I don't know. I guess so. She was like, why'd you even notice that? And I was like, well,
weird thing to notice.
Because in America, you kind of have this rivalry. If you like Nike, you hate Adidas people, and Adidas people hate Nike people.
Don't even get us started on the Reebok people.
And she was like, why? And I was like,
fuck if I know.
I was like, we're Americans. We like to just hate things for no reason. We form rivalries out of everything for no reason. And she goes,
true.
That's dumb. And I was like, it is.
It's the American way.
But fuck Adidas. And then I showed her my Nike shoes and was like, that's why I'm noticing and I'm disgusted. And then she just laughed and thought that was funny. But so, do you not... So, I mean, you know that that's a thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna date this person.
Oh, gross. Gross.
I love Adidas.
Don't wear your Adidas around me, okay?
Okay.
I don't want to see those. I don't want to see them 3 bars.
I love my 3 stripes.
Them 3 stripes. No, yeah, I was raised a Nike boy by my brother, so I'm all about the Nikes. But so, speaking of Freddie Mercury, she doesn't want to watch the Bohemian Rhapsody movie.
Why?
She doesn't care about him.
Who doesn't care about Freddie Mercury?
And her husband has been trying to get her to watch it for so long, and I was like, I'll watch it with him, it's great. She's like, go for it.
So you guys just had like a little bro down movie night?
No, we didn't. No, we actually watched King of Queens together.
Did you like take that over there with you on a stick, or?
No. So he was watching TV because I got to go to their house Friday night, right?
Yeah.
And he was watching TV, and he was like, "Oh my god, do you watch Modern Family?" And I was like, "I've never seen it."
You've
and he was
never
like,
seen
"I
Modern
love
Family?
it." I've never watched it because I don't watch TV
it's
a lot.
so good.
But he was like, "It's like my favorite show." He's like, "It's so good." And so he was kind of talking stuff, and I was like, "I don't know. My big show was like King of Queens." And he turned so slow to me with this smile just growing, and he goes, "I fucking love that show.
That is so
I
strange.
have all of it DVR'd. Let's watch one."
What?
And they just turned one on, and we all watched King of Queens.
That's
was
such
great.
Like, a deeply American show that weirds me out that they would even like relate to it over there.
It is like his favorite show. He
so funny.
loves it. And actually, I need to get him and Richard together.
Why?
Because the only thing he does is play FIFA.
Oh my god.
So I told him, well, if you like FIFA, you should get into Rocket League. And he was like,
No.
what the fuck is that? And I was like, it's FIFA with cars. And he was like, alright, I hear what you're saying. And he was about it.
What you're putting down.
So, if Richard needs more FIFA or somebody else to battle with, I got a guy.
Okay.
I actually have a lot of people that want to battle Richard in FIFA.
Why? We just like picking up FIFA people?
People play FIFA all the time, and they're like, do you play? And I'm like, no, but I know a guy, and he doesn't play anymore because he's too good. And they're just like, they slam on the desk. I must face him. I'm like, you guys are weird.
I've never met another person in this world who's into FIFA.
Dude, you need to... I only find people that are obsessed with FIFA.
Maybe I need to get out more.
People love FIFA so much, and I'm like, dude, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand soccer to begin with, so I'm not going to play a game about it.
Soccer is basically like field hockey, but like, it's just, there's no appeal to me.
But Kelsey, I don't know hockey either.
Well, hockey is just ice soccer.
I know. So they both elude me. I did watch rugby one night. That was great.
Rugby is fascinating. Those men are so wrestly.
No clue what was happening.
I cannot follow rugby. All I know is that there's like 11 to 20 men on the field, and they're all just like aggressively hugging and very muscular.
I saw a guy like on the ground. He was like pinned, but he kept like flopping like a whale.
What's he doing, the worm?
Kind of, and I guess that was keeping him from actually being down. I don't know what I was like, do you have to pin him like wrestling for him to be down? So he's like lifting his shoulders.
Always be worming.
That's what they were doing every time. So I was like, all right. So the play's not ended. Like, he got back up, and he's still going. So he wasn't down. Does he have to be pinned? I don't know. I was very, very confused watching that.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it.
But that was cool. Oh, so that was my fish and chips. But my last meal.
Okay, your last meal.
So I told you that Jazz's husband knew the people that ran the restaurant in the hotel, right?
Yes.
So he was like, they know Indian food if you get Indian food from them, it'll be like the good shit.
Okay,
right?
good.
So I walk up in there. Oh, I didn't tell you about my lasagna meal too.
You showed me your lasagna meal.
When I sat down,
monstrosity.
I ate it. They took the plate, and I sat there for like 45 minutes to an hour.
Waiting on the check?
Yes.
You just sat there?
Well, I was kind of watching the soccer game, you know, and then I was like, well, I don't know. Maybe they're busy with me being the one person in here.
Oh, my God.
Right? And so finally, I was like, I just want to go back to my room. I don't know what to do. So I pull out my phone, and I Google, how do you get the check in the UK? And it says, they don't bring it to you. You got to go get it.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck, I sat here for an hour for nothing. Put my phone in my pocket and just kind of like strolled up there like, I'm ready to pay. And they're like, finally.
Jeez, get out of here, dude. We've been waiting on you for an hour.
So all the rest of the meals, like I knew what to do. Like you actually go sit at your table. And when you're ready, you go up to a place at the front and say, like, table 38, this is what I want. And then they'll just bring it to that table.
That's
right?
stressful.
And you usually pay up front. Like, you just say, here's what I want, here's the money. And then you go sit down. And then you just leave when you're done. Right?
Okay.
It's kind of like, I kind of like it better. It's more freeing. You just do what you want when you go in there. You know?
Counter service like that freaks me out, though, because they have that in America, too, you know, where you, like, you walk up to the counter and you have to know what you're ordering, and then you order it there, and you go sit down and you have your number.
Oh, see? You just go sit down. And so you can sit there for as long as you want, and then walk up and get your food.
Oh.
Like, it's not the first thing you do. You just go sit down.
Just go chill?
Yeah. So, like, you might go to the bar and say, you know, I want my Guinness Black, right?
Yeah.
Get your drink, pay for it. Go sit down at table 38. You know, you're sitting there, you're talking, you're drinking, you're having a good time. I go, all right, well, I'm finally hungry. I'm going to go get that toad in the hole. Then you walk back up to the front and say, hey, table 38, I want the toad in the hole. And they go, all right, that'll be this. You pay it, you go
Extra
sit down,
toad.
they bring it to you. Right?
Right.
I was like, I love this.
That's pretty cool.
I was like, this is great. You're not like waiting for a guy to bring you the thing, then waiting for him to come back to take your card again. You're the master of your own eating schedule. Going back to the hotel restaurant, I knew how to get everything now, right?
Yeah.
So I walk in there, pull out the Indian menu, and I was like, oh yeah, I know what I want. So they come over there, what do you have? And I was like, I want the lamb curry.
Perfect.
Please. So they bring me this lamb curry. And it was about the most goddamn delicious thing I've ever had in my life.
All right.
It was hot, spicy.
It looks spicy.
That naan bread or whatever.
Fuck yeah,
naan bread.
I love naan.
So good. So good.
It's so big and floppy.
So I took the rice, put it on the plate, and kind of mixed the curry in with it.
Uh-huh.
And then I would spoon the like curry rice onto my naan bread and eat it. I figured that's how you did
Good
it.
Time.
And it was so good.
Did you eat it by yourself, or you had people there with you?
Oh, no, it was just me.
Oh.
Because it was my last night there.
Ah.
So Jazz let me have like an early night, because I had to get up for my taxi to take me back to the airport at like 7 a.m.
Ugh.
Like, he was going to be there at 7 a.m.
Was it Yusuf again?
No, and I was
Aw.
really upset because I was waiting for it to be him, and the door was going to open, and I was going to go, Yusuf! He was going to be like, Robert! And we were going to have such a good conversation.
You would have told him
about all the
your
things
travels.
I learned. Yeah. And it wasn't him, but he even said, well, when are you leaving? It's like, next Sunday, and he goes, I'll look for the job.
Aw.
And sadly, he didn't get the job.
Damn.
So I never saw him again. But
We'll
I'll
always
find
miss you,
him
Yusuf.
one day. So, eat that stuff, and then I go up to the front, and there was this little French girl, right?
Okay.
So I had my card, and she's like, here it is to pay. So I put the card in, I did the PIN, and when I hit the button, it said, approved. So I pulled it out, right?
Okay.
Pulled it out, but it was approved, but it hadn't processed.
Oh. Well, it shouldn't tell you
So-
approved then.
It said approved. I pulled the card out, put it back in my wallet, and then she looks at me and she was like, man, I can't even do the accent now, but I had it perfect when it first happened. But she like goes, it didn't pay. And I was like, what? And she was like, you have to leave the card in until it is done. You can't just be taking the card. I was like, oh my God. I'm so... Okay. I know how it works. I felt so belittled. I know. I was like, I know how this fucking card works, ma'am. Thank you. So I put it in again, and she's just staring at me like, do not touch it. So it says approved, now processing. And I was like, well, it had said approved. That's why I pulled it. And she was like, uh-huh. I was like, God, jeez. Like, I'd use this card all week long. I know how it works, but it said approved. I yanked it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Way to go. Giving a bad name on all of us Americans abroad.
I know. So I finally did that. I left. Got on my taxi. I actually got down there at like 6:50. Checked out, and he walked in at 6:55. And he was like, is there a Robert here? And I was like, that's me. And he was like, yeah.
Just like that?
No. But he goes, good timing, get in. And then I got in, and he was not talkative.
Boo. It was an hour and a half ride in silence?
Almost.
Boring.
Yeah. So, get there, 10.5-hour plane ride back.
Fuck.
I watched a lot of Stranger Things.
Hell yeah.
And then here I am.
And here you are.
All back in one piece, and kind of wishing that I could get back there.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed almost everything about the country, except that it didn't rain.
I'm glad that you enjoyed your time. It was a nice little stay. You didn't drive a car into a hotel. You didn't have a screaming match with anybody in the middle of the
Thankfully,
road.
I had somebody to drive me.
That's good.
Because Jazz drove most of the time.
They drive on the other side there, don't they?
And I was like, dude, if you weren't driving me, I would have wrecked.
Yeah.
Every day.
They have like roundabouts and shit. I fucking hate
got
roundabouts.
Roundabouts out the ass.
Roundabouts
and
galore.
People just know when to yield and when to not. And I'm like, these people should be merging, but they wouldn't merge. And Jazz would just cut right by them. And I was like, I would have been scared to go and have probably caused something behind me. You know?
Yeah. It's a perfectly oiled machine over there that I am not willing to be a cog in.
Oh, yeah. I did get several Ubers while I was there.
Nice.
Even their Uber drivers are just so nice.
That's good. No ladies with skulls?
No. I did have one of those in Virginia when we went. She was a little weird.
Oh, man.
But I got this one guy, so I was like, oh, hey, thanks for picking me up. How's your night going? Well, I just started. I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, yeah, it's Saturday night, it's the crazy night. Last night, and then he just started going off, right?
Okay.
And he goes, yeah, last night had these rowdy kids, stupid kids. Fucking hate these kids. These kids, they're sitting back there. They're not naughty kids. They were naughty.
Naughty.
He goes, they poured their drinks all in my back seat.
What?
He's like, and then they started to fool around back there.
What? That's not naughty. That's rude as hell.
Made the sex.
Making the
And he
sex
goes,
in the back of an Uber.
Naughty kids, naughty.
So, in the seat where you were sitting, some teenage spooge.
Well, he said that he made $5 from that ride, and then it cost him $15 to get it all cleaned up.
Oh my god, gross.
So he had to go get it cleaned up like the next day, I guess, before he started the night shift for me the next day.
Damn.
Those damn naughty kids. He was like, those kids very naughty. They were bad. That was the guy that took me to see the Joker movie.
Ah.
He was so cool. So, yeah, it was quite an eventful time. Lots of good food. Lots of people. Sun, one day. The rest of the days, Gray. Gray and cloudy.
Gray and cloudy. Well, at least you got to experience that bit of England, even if it didn't rain.
Yeah. And lots of sheep. Like, tons of fields of sheep. And I was telling Yusuf, I was like, yeah, see, we don't really have that. We got a lot more cows.
Yeah, it's just cows.
We have cows. And it's like, yeah, but, like, we have a lot of cows.
Just so many.
But they did have, like, a shit ton of sheep.
You ever seen a goat farm?
Yes.
I see, like, the occasional goat farm here. Our Canadian family was down one time, and we were on, like, a little road trip going down south to New Braunfels.
Okay.
And we passed a goat farm, and my cousin was like, oh my god, a dog farm!
Oh my god.
Like, so excited. He's like, look at all the dogs! Do you guys see these dogs? They're huge! And I was like, yeah, man. Those big dogs. You guys don't have dog farms in Canada?
Jeez.
Fully believed it was a dog farm.
That's awesome. So, then I got one more thing for you.
What is it?
Did I tell you about what was going on with the post office the other day?
Tell me about the post office.
So, do you recall our story on how you told me about the Super Nintendo controller?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it shipped 3 days after it was supposed to, which was like mid-September.
Right. So, to remind the listeners, I told Robert that the Super Nintendo not Wii controllers, the fucking Switch controllers were on sale, and he was able to snap one up at the last second, like right before they sold out.
Well, it even had said sold out when I bought them.
Right.
So I don't know how I got one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so it finally shipped, and I'm doing air quotes for you guys. They shipped, right? I don't know what's coming because it's sold out. Did I really look into one? I don't know. So I'm tracking this package through UPS for like a week.
Uh-huh.
Right? It gets here, down the street from me. Okay?
Perfect.
And sits there for 2 full weeks.
Not perfect.
It was sitting in Louisville, Texas, right?
Right.
Saying, package accepted, pending approval.
Whose approval?
I don't know what that means. I looked it up, and there's tons of people that are like, it says my package is here, but it's pending approval. What do I do? Right?
Pending approval from Big Nintendo.
I could never figure out what it meant. So, I left to go to England, right?
Without your controllers.
Yeah. I go to check it, like, right before I came back home. Right before I came back home, and it said, approved finally, right?
Good.
I'm excited. I'm like, I'm going to be home for 2 days. Hopefully, it'll come back in the 2 days before I leave again.
Yes.
I get home, and on day 1 of my 2 days that I'm home, I check it, and it says, arrived in El Paso.
Which is not anywhere close to where we are.
It was literally down the street. It would have taken me less than 10 minutes to drive there.
And now it is 8 hours west.
Like 13 hours west?
Yeah, like very far west.
So far down there. So over there. And I'm like, well, I gotta leave again. Still not gonna have it. So I just gave up on it. I was like, fuck it. I don't even care when this package comes in or what it is. So I finally get back home. And I got a thing from the office saying that I had a package delivered, right?
Oh, good, good.
Didn't know what it was, and I was like, I don't really care, but I'm going to go get it today. So I went and picked it up today, and it was this.
Oh, my God.
It was the fucking Super Nintendo controller. I actually have one.
I'm so excited.
It is real. It's not even open yet.
It looks so pretty.
I actually somehow squeaked by and got one of the last ones. Somehow.
I'm so happy. I wonder if they're going to go back on sale anytime soon. Like, I have to look it up.
I mean, they have to. Yeah, it does not say buy now.
Ugh.
It looks like you still cannot get one. You really should have tried whenever you told me about it.
I should have. But then I would have gotten your controller and you would be without.
it would have been fine. So, I gotta tell you about one last thing, because we have to be timely. We are somewhat of a timely podcast.
Somewhat.
Have you heard the big, gigantic news?
That's so vague.
that Fortnite has disappeared.
Oh, Jesus. Well, did you hear the other news?
That it is back.
Yes. I saw Twitter and it was like, this is the end of Fortnite? What are we gonna do? It's gone forever. Everything's ending.
I lived the emotion while I was in Virginia.
Have you ever played Fortnite?
I've played 2 rounds and was like, I'm done. But we went to see Taylor's dad while we were out in Virginia, right?
Is he a Fortnite dad?
Oh, he fucking plays Fortnite so hard.
What? Oh my god.
He plays it, and then his youngest son plays it, right?
Alright.
And so we were playing something, and so his son was like, I'm gonna go play Fortnite real quick. And he walks in there, and it did the whole implosion thing with the black hole.
So you got to see it, like...
I got to see it, like, crush a little boy, yeah.
Oh my god.
and he goes, it's just a black hole. And then Taylor's dad was like, well, I mean, it always takes, like, a few hours to come back online. Like, we'll check it later tonight, right? So he was like, alright, that's fine. So that night, we were up chit-chatting and stuff, and her dad would constantly go in there and go, yeah, it's still just a black hole. And he was all about it, and we read news stories until like 2 a.m.
Oh my god.
Like, trying to figure out what was going on, because he was like, I'm off tomorrow and I want to play fucking Fortnite. The kids are in school and I'm off. It's my time.
Damn.
And it never came back, so when I read that it came back, I texted Taylor and was like, tell your dad it's alive! But so I got to, like, watch people firsthand feel the emotion of losing Fortnite.
That's amazing. I feel like if I was super into the game, I probably would have had a lot of emotions about it, but I saw that it was over and I was like, oh, alright. And then today I get back on Twitter and it's like, Fortnite is back with a new map. Like, oh, okay, like, so it was a gimmick.
Well, I mean, we all knew it was coming back.
But
it's just the fact that they didn't say how long it would be.
I know, and then they started
and
to
it
do
was
stuff,
gone.
like, while the stream was, like, they had the black hole on the screen, but then, like, numbers started flashing, just random numbers and shit, and I was like, they're gonna do some horrible, drawn-out, like, Sombra ARG.
Yeah, dude.
No.
It was gone for 36 hours.
That's forever in Fortnite years.
I know. I mean, imagine if we played Overwatch that religiously. Like, we played it every day. And Overwatch just disappeared for like a day and a half. Don't you think we'd freak out?
Yeah, I would freak out.
It's like... Or even if, like, we logged in and just half the roster was gone. And it was like, did they die? Who knows?
Oh, that'd be fucked up.
And we're like, I can't use Diva anymore? What happened to her?
Won't play the game.
And then they just didn't tell you. You know? You know that you would freak out.
It's true.
I mean, I lived that when the PlayStation network went down for like a whole month.
Oh man,
like
that was
2009.
Mess.
That shit was awful.
It was
and
terrible.
Every day I'd come home and I'd check and just go, no Uncharted for me.
Still living in hell.
And it was a full month. Like, could you imagine what the Fortnite people would have done if it was a month?
There would have been literal riots in the street. They would have started killing each other IRL.
I know. So I just had to tell you about it because it's news, and I found it kind of funny.
Yeah, I'm jealous that you got to see a little kid freak out about it.
He's like, Dad, it's still a black hole. He goes, it's fine. They'll do it in like 3 hours. Like 8 hours later, me and him are both on news sites going like, it's not coming back. So that's my trip that I did not tell you about at all in our last conversation.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we got to talk it out. Look at all those nice pictures of food. We'll put those up on Instagram.
I'll give you guys like a 10-photo food collage.
Yes. Those are the best Instagram photos. You gotta
make
get
you guys
food.
hungry.
Yeah, eat before you go to our Instagram.
Yeah. Hi, Chico, baby. So,
okay. Ready
Jinx hasn't seen me in, like, basically 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And she's up my butt.
I bet.
She's like, I missed you so much.
I missed you, Dad.
I know.
Where'd you go?
I know. Where did I come from? Where did I go?
Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Dad?
Dude, a guy got on my plane today with an eye patch.
Oh, I bet he's got stories.
And I really just wanted to be like, what's with the patch? Come on, tell me.
Don't assault people with eye patches.
Oh, hang on. I got one more thing for you.
Okay.
This beautiful story. So, when I was flying back home.
Oh yeah, the lady.
I got sat next to this little old lady, right?
Yes.
And she's great and all. But I was like, I'm trying to watch some Stranger Things here, right? Like,
Fuck
I'm
off,
in
lady.
it. Leave me alone. So she fell asleep for a while. I was watching it, and then she had to get up. So I paused the show. I let her get up. And of course, I'm not going to just be like holding my tablet while she's getting in and out. So I paused it and took everything off so I could get up to let her in and out, right?
Uh-huh.
So we sit back down when she comes back from the bathroom, and before I can get the earbuds in, she starts talking. And I was like, fuck!
That's how they get you.
Gotta listen to this old lady. And then so she was just talking about how, you know, she's from London, and then she was like, yeah, I'm off to Dallas to see my fiancé.
Aw.
And I was like, oh, well, like, did he just go on a trip before you? And she was like, oh, no, he lives there. I was like, all right, well, how does that work? So she proceeds to tell me the story of this 30-year, like, interaction with this man that all led to an engagement at her being 65 now.
What?
This guy lives in Texas. He is a Texas boy, right?
Okay.
She is from London. She goes, yeah, I just retired 2 weeks ago. She goes, I retired 2 weeks ago from being a full-time teacher. I traveled all over the world teaching stuff.
Nice.
And we used to have these like little events, and we'd have teachers that would all fly together to go to these different places, right?
Yeah.
And she said, so what happened was, one time I came to get on my plane, an American Airlines flight, and there was like caution tape around my seat.
What?
So I couldn't sit in my seat. It was like broken, right? So this guy worked on the plane. He basically would like travel with the airlines and like get people. He was like selling stuff to people through flying places, right?
Okay.
So he was like, oh, well, just come sit with me, right? So he takes her with him and introduces her to the pilot and the co-pilot. She got to see the cockpit and do all this stuff, right?
Cool.
And she was like, yeah, so I just talked to him, and that was it. I just talked to him, that's it. And then, like, a few years goes by, and I see him again on another flight. And so we're talking, and blah, blah, blah. She goes, and that was it. But then he would always keep in contact with me. Like, he would always, like, send me messages or write me, or when he was in London, he'd come see me, and if I was ever teaching somewhere, I would try to see him. And he was, like, married and had kids and stuff. Well, his wife had died.
Oh, no.
And he still talked to her all this time. And they were talking for, like, a couple months, or, like, about a year after his wife had died. And I guess realizing that they had been talking to each other for so long, he proposed to her from like across the ocean.
Oh my god.
Right? And she goes, I was never married. I mean, I had boyfriends here and there, but I'm 65 years old. And I was like, now's as good a time as any.
Yeah.
So I said yes, and I'm retired now, and I'm basically going to move to Texas and be with this guy.
That's so sweet.
And I was like, that's actually a bomb story, lady.
That's beautiful.
It's like, this is really cool. And so she was like, yeah, so I'm going to go to the state fair. Don't know what that is, but he's got 2 brand new hips, so we're good for walking.
Oh.
So this lady met this guy once, and it just kind of lasted for 30 years, and now they're getting married.
That's fabulous.
It was quite a little story.
That's a tale for the ages.
And I was like, you should write that down.
Yeah.
That's kind of a neat story.
Write a book.
She's like, oh, well, you know. But she was the cutest old lady, and I had to tell you that story because I actually was just entranced while she told me this story.
That's so sweet.
So, listeners, you can find love anywhere. It just might take you 30 years for it to come to a head.
Yeah, talk to strangers on planes. Maybe you'll fall in love.
Hopefully. Okay. I'm done.
All right. This was a good catching up podcast. We needed this.
I know. So I guess, let's put this on ice for 30 years and see where it goes.
All right. Listeners, you gotta tell your friends about us. Are you sitting on a plane right now next to some stranger? Tell him. Tell that person. Maybe you'll fall in love over our podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to us on your very favorite platform so you never ever miss an episode. We release weekly every dang Monday. If you have a second to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, that really, really helps us. It helps us get visibility, helps us get more visibility, more
we'll
ratings,
get seen from all over the place.
more reviews, just everything.
You can also find us and friend us on social media. We are at YMBToAP. That rhymes, so you won't forget it. On Twitter and Instagram. Go check out our Facebook page. We try to keep everything flowing, but make sure you check out this one for all that delicious food. Gonna have tons of that food on there.
Yes.
And also, check us out on YouTube. We're getting slowly but surely getting these episodes, I guess, transcribed or transformed into a YouTube format so that you guys don't have to have a podcast app. You can just get on YouTube. One of our friends actually started listening to it on YouTube. So it's working.
It's doing something.
It's good stuff. You can also email us if you'd like at ymbtoap@gmail.com. Give us that listener mail. Tell us about the coolest place you ever went to. Some of the best food you've had while abroad. And give us pictures, too. I want to see some good-looking food.
Yes, please. Tell us how you met your soulmate. I want to hear those stories.
Tell us about your far-flung love from across the sea that took you so long to get back to.
Aw, that's just so sweet. I can't get over it.
I know.
Okay, our theme song is The Grim Reaper Blows the Horn by Faraj. Please check them out on YouTube. As always, thanks for listening, and tune in next time to get the answer to that burning question. When's their wedding? Are we invited?
I hope so. I listened to that story for an hour and a half.
But we had one more important sound we wanted you to hear.
Okay, are you looking for a podcast? Are you looking for a podcast? Are you looking
Are
for a
you
podcast?
looking for a podcast?
Are you looking for a podcast? Can I put you in a podcast today? This podcast can get so many good jokes in it.
Hey, you see this podcast? Can fit so many puns in it.